Everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by W.GG, the energy drink for gamers, and also Eldridge Air Conditioning. Thank you to those guys for the support they've given us this season. I also want to say a thank you to Brian Moncarney. He has saved and shared the races for me every single week, so I really do appreciate that. And also, I want to give a shout out for Unforgiven. He has been hosting this season. I know he's helped a lot of guys out with the setups of the cars, etc., etc., as well as running the league. So yeah, a big shout out to Unforgiven and everybody else that helps in the background. We got doing the points and a lot of things going on in the background, and a big thanks to all of them. Now then, on to the races. This is the second race of 3. Here at the streets of Willow. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. This, in my opinion, is the worst track in GT7. If you disagree, then drop me a comment and let me know what you think is the worst. But for me, this is definitely it. Too much sand. And yeah, we'll not dwell on that one. Let's have a look down the grid, shall we? Getting ready for race 2. Now, this is a completely random grid. So you could be dumped anywhere, and as you can see, Brian Moncarney is on pole position. Neil Formack just behind him in second, Nath in third, Unforgiven fourth, Brownie is fifth, Grasshopper sixth, Scooby seventh, and Stealth in eighth. Change of tyres for some of the guys as well. We'll have a look at the tyres as they go around. Now we'll get these lights lit and then we'll turn them off. And it is go. So good start from Unforgiven there. He was just having a bit of a look at the outside of Neil Formack, but there was just no room at all as we headed on down that straight towards turn 1. So Unforgiven had to slot in behind. And at the minute, Unforgiven has taken up that third spot. He is coming under attack from Nath, though, as Nath goes up the inside. That was a good move from Nath. Managed to get that Mercedes slowed down just in time and go through the inside of Unforgiven up into third. Grasshopper has took advantage as well, and he has now gone up into fourth. Unforgiven in fifth, Scooby in sixth, Brownie seventh, with Stealth down in eighth. Excuse me, still haven't got rid of this bloody frog in my throat. Oh, and Stealth struggling with that focus. It really does like to slide around at the front end, the focus, and this track is really not suited for it. On the medium tyres as well is Stealth. Now he is a couple of tenths off the back of Brownie now, so a bit of work in front of Stealth to catch back up. Meanwhile, up at the pointy end, it is Brian Moncarney leading the way from Neil Formack. So we have the two Genesis Coupes at 1 and 2. Then we've got a Mercedes of Nath in third, Grasshopper in fourth in a BMW. He's on the medium tyres. Unforgiven also on the medium tyres in the second Mercedes, with Scooby just behind him on the softs. So Scooby should be looking at making a move on Unforgiven. He's got the more grippier tyre, and had a great race in race 1, did Scooby. Got himself onto the second step of the podium, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to do pretty much the same in this race as well. He's got a taste for it now, as he looks for a way by, as Brownie tries to put the pressure on Scooby. So come on, Brownie in that Civic. I would love to see him get a lot further up the grid. He absolutely deserves it. So we're rooting for Brownie this race, and also Stealth as well in the focus. I would like to see that little focus a little further up the grid as well. But at the minute, it is Brian Moncarney and Neil Formack that are leading the way. The Genesis doing well around here as they start lap 3. So into turn 2 they go. The art of this track, I think, is just keeping it actually on the grey stuff, as Grasshopper in third, trying to catch up to the back of Neil and Brian. He's not that far away. Grasshopper obviously looking for his second win of the day. Wouldn't it be great if he could do the triple and get 3 wins? I'm sure that's what's on his mind at the minute. He is on the medium tyres though, Let's have a look. Brian and both Neil and Brian are on the soft tyres. Grasshopper on the mediums. Nath is on the soft tyres as well. Then we've got Scooby on the softs, Unforgiven on the mediums, Brownie on the softs, and Stealth on the mediums as well, as Brownie just serves a 1 second penalty. So that's allowing Stealth to catch right up. Stealth has got the momentum as we come down the hill, but it's this tricky turn 12 here, trying to get that car slowed down. You could see that Brownie really struggled and has decided to remove some of them cones because they're in the way. And yeah, it's the bottom of that hill. It's at turn 12. It is very, very tricky, and trying to get the car slowed down is what's causing all the problems, and that's why Brownie ended up where he is. So Stealth moves up into 7th, but up at the sharp end it is Brian Moncani doing everything he can to keep Neil Farmack behind him. Neil Farmack, as I mentioned in race 1, has pretty much got this championship sewn up, but he'll want to finish on a high, won't he? He's not settling for he didn't get on the podium in race 1, so he'll definitely want to do that in race 2 and 3 just to absolutely secure that championship win. But as I say, it's in the bag because Stormfly and Wadru are not here. Grasshopper still in 3rd. He is getting closer. Nath in 4th. He's having a good old battle with Scooby. Scooby struggles at turn 12 as well. Not the first, not the last. I'm sure I've mentioned it many times. That turn 12 is really tricky, as Scooby found out there, and that's cost him a couple of tenths or two from the back of Nath. Unforgiven in 6th. Stealth in 7th still, with Brownie down in 8th. Who are we going to go on board with? Should we go on board with Neil Farmack? Trying to take a tighter line through turn 3 and put the pressure on Brian Moncani. A quick look behind and we can see Grasshopper is right on top of us now, which we knew was going to happen. Grasshopper just caught up to the back of these two. Now it's whether he's going to make his move or he's just going to sit there for a bit. We are only just approaching the 6-minute mark, so 9 minutes or just over 9 minutes to go in this second race. Now then, this is turn 12, just about to come up now. This is where everybody seems to be struggling, but Brian made it look easy. Neil Farmack goes through. Grasshopper goes through as well. Brian kicking dust up all the time. He's just clipping the apexes of these turns, which you can get away with, but if you go any further over the track limits, then you're onto that sand and it will spin you out. Neil Farmack found that out just about here actually in race 1. So Brian doing a fantastic job at the minute of keeping Neil behind him. Grasshopper in 3rd then still. Let's just have a little look further down. Nath in 4th. He's got a nice little breathing gap between himself and Scooby. Scooby though will be doing everything he can to get back onto the podium again. As I say, he's been there a few times now and he's got a taste of the champagne, so he fancies a bit more. Unforgiven in 6th. Like to see him get a little bit further up the grid, maybe even onto the podium himself. But this Mercedes just looks too lumpy round here. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I don't know, it just looks too lumpy around this track. It's not really suited for here. Stealth in 7th in the Focus. This was always going to be a struggle in the Focus. There are too many tight turns and that car does not like being thrown from left to right very quickly. It is a great car, very very quick in a straight line, but the corners it tends to struggle. But Stealth, well, doing a good job keeping it on the tarmac at the minute. And then we've got poor old Brownie down in 8th in the Civic. Now then, he's got the hazards on, so maybe he's having some technical issues. He's got a bit of a problem as Brownie. That is sad to see. Not quite sure what it is. But yeah, he is struggling as the top 3 trying to pull a gap back to Nath in fourth. It's there. I can't work it out. Probably four seconds or something like that. But these three having a proper battle, aren't they? Brian, Neil and Grasshopper. It's such a tight track. The overtaking opportunities are really limited on this track, because if you go too wide, as I've mentioned already, you're going to end up on the sand and you are going to spin out. So really you've got to rely on the guy in front of you leaving a big enough gap for you to get by. But why would he do that? Let's jump on board with Grasshopper as we chase the two Genesis through these first few turns. So down towards turn 3, and Grasshopper going all the way around the outside of Neil Farmack, and he can't quite get it done, can he? Neil managing to hold on to that second spot, so Neil got a bit of defending to do now. That might give Brian the opportunity to pull away as Neil tries to stop Grasshopper getting by, and Grasshopper makes another look, doesn't he? Is he trying the cutback as we come around turn 8? It's foot down now, it is side by side. Let's get out so we can have a look and see how close these guys really are down the hill towards that dreaded turn 12. Hard on the brakes to make this turn, and all three of them around there very successfully. Remember, Grasshopper is on the medium tyres as well. Into the final turn 15, and then onto this straight quarter of a mile sprint now towards turn 1. So some great racing from these guys up at the front. Scooby in 4th. He has got a little bit of breathing space back to Nath, but Nath is starting to put the pressure on. Oh, and Stealth has made his way up into 6. Well, I'm sorry we missed that one, but well done to Stealth. He was at the back, wasn't he? Didn't have the greatest of starts. Found himself down in 8th, but has now managed to get himself up into 6. So whether Unforgiven has had a bit of an issue, we're not sure. Sorry I missed that one. But Unforgiven has dropped down to 7th with Brownie in 8th. And Brownie has... Well, I think he's still got some problems, hasn't he? The hazards are still going. So back up at the top, it is still Brian Moncani from Neil Farmack from Grasshopper. These three having a fantastic battle. Grasshopper on the medium tyres. Oh, and he's got it wrong. He got that bit wrong, didn't he? Oh, and I'm pressing all sorts of wrong buttons. I think he was just too early on the power. That's the one I wanted. Let's have a look now. We'll have a look properly, shall we? Now I've got the right camera. So we did make it around turn 15. Oh, I think he just caught the inside curb. I think he just caught the inside curb and a bit too much power. And, well, you can see he's struggling to actually get back on track. He's having to wait for the traffic. And with the sand and that, it just keeps spinning you around. Well, that's unlucky for Grasshopper, so that's put paid to any podium chances he thought he had with, well, 3.5 minutes to go. So he's got to rely on somebody at the front end to make a mistake. And Neil Farmack, while all that was going on, let's have a look. Neil Farmack did manage to make the pass. Oh, I'm having a nightmare with these buttons, aren't I? Neil Farmack then, just behind Brian Moncani. Oh, it's Brian that's gone off. Oh no, it's all happening now in the latter stages of race 2. You can just see Grasshopper in the background there as Brian goes sliding off as well in the entry into turn 2. Well, it looks spectacular. The crowd are cheering because this is what they love to see, but Brian will be cussing and cursing. And that has just allowed Neil Farmack to go through. Neil just couldn't believe his luck there, so thank you very much. Brownie sort of caught up in the mix of it all as well as he gets lapped. Brian now trying to get by Brownie, and as I said, there's not a great deal of room. And Scooby is there. Scooby is ready to pounce. He's going to put the pressure on Brian Moncani in the BMW. Scooby is pushing. Had a bit of a cheeky look then, didn't he? But Brian slammed the door. Oh, it's getting all touchy-feely now as Scooby goes all the way around the outside at turn 8. And I think the dirty tyres have prevented Brian Moncani getting his foot down and getting a good exit out of there. So Scooby now moves up into second. Brian Moncani drops to third, having led most of this race. Nath now putting the pressure on Brian. Brian really is struggling as we get into the closing stages of race 2. And the pressure is now on Brian Moncani from Nath. Grasshopper, he's trying to catch up. He's in 5th with Stealth in 6th, Unforgiven 7th and Brownie down in 8th. But back up to this battle here for, well, the 2nd and 3rd spots on the podium because, has Brian gone off again? He has almost the same spot. Brian pushing and pushing and pushing, and he's made the same mistake again. And that really has just gifted the podium finish to Scooby and Nath. Brian now down into 4th and coming under all sorts of pressure from Grasshopper. Grasshopper had a spin as well, so it's all throughout the grid. Everybody's just spinning now as they really push towards the end of this race. We have what we got left, just over a minute and a half as Grasshopper makes the move on Brian Moncani as they come around turn 8. Grasshopper gets his nose in front, but they are almost side by side as they come down the hill towards turns 9, 10 and 11, and then they are staring at turn 12, and here we are. This is the one, and Brian couldn't slow it down. We have seen so many do it, and it is turn 12 that's causing the problems, and Brian pushing too hard, couldn't quite get the car slowed down, allows Grasshopper to go through. Well, I can only imagine what is being said in that car under the visor of Brian Moncani. Stealth in 6th, Unforgiven in 7th, and I think I've seen Brownie come into the pits. Yeah, wow, it is all happening. Neil Farmack has been handed the win, really. We are into the last minute as Neil Farmack comes up through turn 7. Scooby in 2nd and looking comfortable, really, with Nathan 3rd. Same for him, looking comfortable. Grasshopper's the closest to him, but he is a good few seconds behind. And you can just see there the distance between the two of them. Let's have a look at the time, 14.5 seconds. Let's have a look, see where Neil is. Neil just coming around the final turn then, so he may well get another lap in, actually. We'll just follow Neil across the line. And yeah, Neil's definitely going to get another lap in. So will Scooby, and so will Nath. Grasshopper, he will get another lap in as well. Brian Moncani currently sitting in 5th. I think he's going to be the first one to finish. If he can stay ahead of Stealth, and he does. So Brian Moncani takes 5th, Stealth takes 6th. Unforgiven will come across the line in 7th. Not enjoying himself here in California is Unforgiven, and Brownie definitely not. He did come into the pits, but this has not been his track at all. So poor old Brownie, he will finish in 8th position. We will just follow him across the line in the Civic, and then back up to the top. Neil Farmack looking comfortable for the win, making up for race 1 when he didn't even get on the podium. So a good result for Neil Farmack. This will absolutely secure the championship for him as we follow him through the final turn. So well done to Neil Farmack, good result. Scooby, brilliant, 2nd podium again, that's 2 in a row. And now then, who got 3rd position? I think it was Grasshopper. In fact, let's just go back and have a look at this, shall we? Grasshopper did a fantastic job through the final turn and across the line, and he just pulls out now then, I think. Yes, he did. So Grasshopper by, well, a cat's whisper, as they say. Whisker. So Grasshopper takes 3rd. Some great racing there. Hopefully you can join me for race 3, the 3rd and final race of this championship back here in California. I shall catch you all soon.